everything you can and executing the best you can, and then holding your head up high regardless, right? We hope that there's like an easy path to being able to get that victory, and that's how we played in the first half. You know, every time we came to a timeout, well, he was, what, he, you know, like there was no ownership over like, what else can I do? Like, what else can I do right now to help the team? I thought Mar was probably the only guy in the first half that gave us, like, had a fighting spirit to him. And then I thought that his fighting spirit was infectious in that second half. I thought Cam obviously played by far his best half of his season so far. But we got contributions from a lot of guys, right? Ryan with a big jump shot, right? Ish had some really good minutes for us. Varro fought and scrapped, right? Like, all those things matter. They all matter. You know, a couple of the defensive plays down the stretch that Josh Omajafo made, like, they all matter, and every possession matters. And trying to get everybody to understand that is probably one of the hardest jobs in coaching, because we just assume there's going to be the next possession and the next possession and the next possession. And even as we kind of like fought our way back, and then we got down 10 again, you know, like I told them, I think it was 60 to 50, maybe it was 6:20 left in the game. Is that something like that, right? I said, they can't score very many more if we're going to win this. And they scored 7 more the rest of the game, right? And a couple were off free throws. One was the late shot clock shot, right? And so, like, you know, our defense certainly stepped up, and then we were able to attack and execute on offense.
You know, given the circumstances you just laid out, down 16 at half, go up 1, go back down 10. I mean, emotionally, this is probably the biggest win of the season for you guys. I mean, how do you guys build off of this moving forward?
Yeah, I just hope they can remember what it takes. You know, it's got to be like as you go through the year, and as you go through your career, I think, and especially as a coach, you build up like scar tissue, you know, stuff that like just never goes away. And you try to like impose that on your teams, whether it's, you know, I lose my mind on a missed free throw box out, and I'll say to them, well, you guys weren't in the semifinals of the conference tournament in 2019 when we lost the game on a missed free throw box out. Like, and you're trying to always preach those messages to guys, and sometimes, you know, guys are like, this guy's old and stupid, and, you know, like, that's not going to happen to us, right? We all think that way. But until you can get them to understand that, like, it does, if you don't take care of everything that you can control, that's exactly what happens to you, right? You know, like, those are the things that you're trying to impose, and sometimes you need a couple things like this to go in your favor, so that you can sit there and say, see, this is what we're talking about. This is how it has to be done. This is how you have to play every possession. You can't conserve your energy. You can't not communicate. You can't not handle your rebound responsibilities, or all you're doing in those moments is increasing your chances of losing. And the more adherent you are to those details, the more urgent you are with those details, the better chance you have to be able to win a game. And that's and again, you don't always win them, right? But we lost a game 10 days ago to Fort Wayne, and there's 15 plays, easy, without even blinking, that you want back. Like, we turned the ball over 4 of our first 7 possessions at Fort Wayne. We lost the game by 5 points. Right? We turned the ball over 3 of our first 5 possessions tonight. Like, how ready are you to play the game? Everybody says they're a player. Everybody wants to be a starter, right? How ready are you to play if you walk out there and we turn it over 3 of our first 5? Probably not very ready, right? And our successful teams have thrown the first punch. We certainly didn't throw the first punch tonight, but we came out in the second half and threw the first punch, and I think that helped us set the tone and get back in the game.
Every time I talk to you, I wonder what you think about your team. I wonder what you think about this group. We talked at the beginning of the year. You had a decent, I thought, score. I don't know what the performance was at Villanova, but you see the scores that you have now. You beat Cornell. You beat this team. They're favored to win. Is this a group that you really think can make some noise here as we get into this Horizon League? I know you don't have a crystal ball, and I know it's on a little dramatic now, but I feel who you are, that you want this to get going now, and it's been a while. Is this the group that maybe can get it going?
I think they are, but again, we haven't proven that yet, right? And we haven't, you know, we've shown it in flashes. You know, we've played some really good stretches of basketball, but in order to really be that, you got to be rock solid in what you do. You got to be able to be consistent in any environment, any situation. Even tonight, like, there's a couple times where we're putting stuff on a board in the timeout, and then we're coming out of the timeout and guys aren't in the spots, and it's like, what else could you possibly be thinking about right now if you're not looking at this board going, what do I have to do on this next possession, right? So those are the things that I think, like, we have to somehow get over, because I don't want those things to put a ceiling on some of the potential this team has, because I think we have some of the competitiveness and some of the toughness required. I think we have some of the athleticism required. I think we have some of the playmaking required. But until you become, like, absolutely, like, bow down to every detail that the game is asking of you, it makes it hard to beat really good teams.
And how has Cam helped or changed the complexion of this lineup a little?
Well, I think twofold. Like, I got on Cam a little bit at halftime. He responded incredibly well. I still think there's more that he could give and do, especially from a organization, from a engagement, perspective. Like, he's got to be one of the guys who helps lead the charge here for these next however many games we have. Of, like, he's got to be completely intolerant of anything that is not helping us win, right? And that's not just on game day. That's on practices, that's in shoot-arounds, that's in, how we go about our day, that's in the weight room, right? Like, we need guys like him, guys like Mar, guys like Alvaro, guys like DJ, Josh Omajafo to, like, say, like, no, this is how we're working. Like, this isn't an off day. Hey, that detail matters. How are we turning the ball over against the coaches in dummy offense? And I think if that starts to become the common theme and the thought within the group, then the team has a chance to continue to improve and grow. If we're resistant to that, then we'll just kind of maybe continue to show those flashes, and hopefully that's not the case. All right? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.